How's it hanging, YouTube? Peter here, your Ginger Geordie geek. Welcome back to the channel for another episode of Let's Talk Toys. I am joined as ever by the YouTube crop of royalty. We've got Hydra Collectibles. Luke, how are you, sir?
I'm very good. I wouldn't quite say royalty, but yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Just take it. Just take it. We've got James T. Keegan. How are you, sir?
Ayo, what's up?
Oh, those little hands went 90 to the dozen there. That was good. You're just trying to out Simon, aren't you?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard. Nobody does Simon like Simon, though. So.
Nobody does Simon. No. Come on, Simon. How are you?
Hello, I'm alright, man.
Good stuff. Nice to see you, bud. And we are joined once again by Super Sorrel. How are you, sir?
Good, man. How are you?
Very well, very well. So last night I had the pleasure of joining Sorrel and Jacob's Toys over on their channel. Please do go check that out. That was a really fun show. I really enjoyed that. So thank you very much for inviting us on there. It was good fun. Tonight, guys, we've got the usual kind of smattering of 1/6 scale action figures, smaller scale figures, video games, Star Wars, Marvel, all that kind of stuff. So we'll crack straight on. Just before we do that, jump to the chat quickly. We have got good old StreamYard. Thank you for joining. We've got Chris Bell. Nice to see you, Chris. I'm at work wearing headphones and pretend to be on an important call. They'll never know. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Fuzzy, this could be interesting or not. Most likely not, mate. And because everyone loves the royalty. It's very true. It is very true. You're right. Okay, guys, let's crack straight on because, like I say, we've got tons of stuff. Oh, we've got Sean. Happy birthday, Sean. I believe it's your birthday.
Happy birthday, Sean.
Yeah, hope you are well.
Oh, that's copyright. Never mind.
Yeah, it's copyright. I'll get a strike. Thanks, James. Strike straight off.
Apologies.
Right, guys, let's crack on. We've got lots to go through. Luke, you are up first. I don't understand what this is about because I'm not that familiar with the kind of the NECA Vault stuff. So what is NECA Vault?
Yeah, so this is something that NECA have done throughout January. I will say, straight off the cuff, that I've been quite disappointed with it. I've only purchased one thing. But basically, it seems like they've done some sort of like warehouse find. Like they found some old figures. So they're listing them on a weekly basis for a limited short window of like 24 hours or until they sell out. And it's just a chance to pick something up that has been off of the retail shelves for a while, basically. Like I say, unfortunately, there hasn't been a great deal. I think it was last week or the week before they had a couple of the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives up there. So they had like the Alf figure and they had one of the female Gremlin figure. So I actually purchased the female Gremlin figure that I had missed out on because I couldn't afford it at the time. So that was a winner for me. But yeah, overall, it just feels like a bit of a letdown. You know, when I first sent you over these slides, it was all quite exciting, and unfortunately, it hasn't really held up. So
I don't know, mind. I quite like the idea of that Alf figure. I missed the Alf figure.
Yeah, so unfortunately, if you didn't purchase it last week, it's gone now.
Gone.
Yeah.
Away. You guys ever get anything from this? Sorrel, is this something you jump on?
NECA, yeah, I jump on NECA, but I've not done any of the Vault stuff. They were all a bit random and a bit yeah, like you say, not very good announcements, really. Not very good finds.
Yeah. So it's literally my understanding, Luke, from what you've just said, is it's literally kind of just warehouse stuff that they've got left.
Well, they haven't said that, but that's what it feels like. You know, there was quite a lot of the like Quentin Tarantino's movie stuff. So they had like Django figures and they had Kill Bill figures and stuff like that. And it just seems like those were quite an odd mix. You know, if NECA were going to go back to the Vault and do things, you'd think it would be like the Alien and Predator lines, or you think it would be the Gremlins or the Turtle stuff. It just seems like a bit of a miss, really. Missed opportunity.
They're all 100% just warehouse finds because you can tell because they're all like exclusive Comic-Con stuff. It's probably stuff they had that didn't sell and they've kept in the warehouse for God knows how long, and now it's a way of shifting it.
Yeah.
That's a good point, actually. What just a slight segue. As I've kind of getting more into collecting some of the comic books and the figures and things that are exclusive to Comic Cons, I find it frustrates the living shit out of us that I can't get my hands on some of these things unless I've got. I mean, me, Luke, and James, and Simon, I think you did as well. We all kind of tapped up our good friend Efren, Past Point Comics, when he was going to San Diego Comic Con to pick up exclusive things from us. And I know, Luke, you've in the past been stung a little bit trying to get, was it Target store exclusive things and stuff?
Yeah, so I'm still getting stung by that sort of thing nowadays, you know, and it's so bad when it's a mainline figure that you know you need to compete, and they've made it an exclusive somewhere. It's an absolute nightmare. As it goes, we might touch on this later on, but the Masterverse figure lines, they've started making some of those now Target exclusives, which means that we got no chance of getting them over here.
Yeah. Frustrating. And James, I know you had, was it a Comic Con exclusive Last of Us comic you got effort to get for you or something?
It was a US only edition of the game.
Yeah.
So I didn't pick that up.
I find that irritating. I do find it irritating. I mean, Sorrel, have you ever been stung by that? Have you ever tried to get a hold of some of the stuff? I mean, you go over to the States quite often, but don't you? So
Yeah, I do. I tend to just wait till I go over there. To be honest, I don't pre-order much anymore. I used to pre-order quite a lot, but then I found out that I was pre-ordering everything a year in advance, and all of a sudden I'd end up with like 10 invoices in a week, and I'm like, no, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So I stopped doing that. I just grab things as they come in. So we've got in the UK now. We've got that many online retailers like your Kapow Toys, In-Demand Toys, Comics and Cocktails, Props and Replicas. There's so many now. You can't not find stuff in stock. If you know the right places to go, you're fine.
Yeah, and I have to say, just a shout out. Sorry, Luke, just a shout out to Comics and Cocktails. I've not really used them before, but I picked up, or I've ordered, sorry, the Super 7 Cat's Lair from them, and I was absolutely astounded at how flexible and easy it was to order it, and then how they do a monthly kind of payment plan with no interest or anything. They were really, really good in terms of customer service. Luke, I cut you off, mate.
No, it was just a quick mention. Like, you're absolutely right. We do have some fantastic stores over here that do cater for a lot of that American stuff. However, there are still the exceptions to the rule. So, for example, I was holding out for the Turtle in Disguise NECA figures from the animated series, believing that we were going to get them over here eventually, and they just never did. They never arrived. So I fully missed out on those. And something like this NECA Vault would have been the perfect opportunity to grab something like that, especially for an international fan base, because that was very much, I think it was Walmart that was selling those. And you couldn't get them for love nor money anywhere outside of the United States.
Yeah, there's still a bunch of ones that are out at the minute. They're like some of the turtles from the Universal Monsters line. There's the Creature of Black Lagoon, Werewolf, and the Werewolf one. We've not had those yet in the UK, and even like My Bloody Valentine from the horror series, that's still not reached here yet. But that's been out in America for about 6 months. We've not even seen it.
I'm chuckling because James's ears just pricked there because we've just been talking about
It's not the Jensen Ackles version, Peter.
Oh, it's not the Jensen Ackles version.
No,
All right, not
it's
interested.
the original
Not interested.
1981.
Just jumping to the comments, Chris is saying he looked and wasn't very excited by the vaults, and Fuzzy's saying the same thing. Though he hasn't bought a toy in forever, nothing seems to excite him anymore. Fuzzy, you were tinkering on the edge of buying a 1/6 scale figure, I believe, a little while ago. Let's see if we can find something for you in tonight's show. I popped this slide up. This is from Trick or Treat Studios. This is some of the masks. Sorrel, I know you've been talking about these on one of your other shows. Do you just want to talk through a few of these, please?
Yes, Trick or Treat Studios put out their sort of listings for the year of like what masks are to come and what licenses, basically showing off. Because like at the end of last year, they kind of sacked off a bunch of licenses, and they were just showing off that they've got like your Thundercats license and things like that. But these are all masks that are coming out from Trick or Treat Studios. Really high quality masks, really good. They've got Goosebumps and all sorts coming out this year. It's going to be great.
There's some cool stuff there. I mean, we talked about these a little while ago on Horror Show on Friday night. I'm loving the Slimer, I have to say. I do like the Slimer
cool.
for that. Luke, you sent with the image of the Mogwais, the gremlins there, but I've not seen anything from Trick or Treat Studios about those.
So they've been in their catalogue for a number of years now, and I don't know if it's a licensing issue or if they're just not quite ready to release them yet, but they keep getting pushed back. We've had two of the Mogwai in the past. We've had a Gizmo and a Stripe. And I believe we've had two releases of those because the original ones that came out were absolutely horrific and looked nothing like the images. So I actually had one of those on pre-order and very quickly cancelled that order back when that was all first revealed. And I think that was about 7 years ago. So that was a long time. Then obviously they've announced this one, which is kind of like your Wave 2, albeit the third version. And they've got all the other characters, which I would love to own. I'm a big Gremlins fan. I actually have some custom Mogwai myself. But these would be that much cheaper than having to pay someone to build them as a custom. So if they look good, if they can get them released, then I'm all in on that line. I would buy every single one of them.
So I was looking for a Mogwai to go with my Gremlin, and probably exactly as you've just said, look, I looked on eBay and they looked rough. The ones I saw for sale weren't good. James, I know you've got your little eyes on a Mogwai.
Yeah, one now Gizmo. Does it come with a? Is there any accessories? It doesn't come with a bandana and the paperclip and shit, does it?
No, you'd have to add
that's
that
easy.
yourself.
Yeah,
Well, that's it.
But
Yeah,
you-
I suppose
can
it is DIY items, isn't it? So I suppose.
Can I just say though, some of this custom work out there is really amazing. So if anyone is interested in getting a custom Mogwai, just hit me up on Instagram and I'll send you the link to the person that makes mine, because they are outstanding.
It's interesting you saying that, because when we were at For the Love of Horror, sorry, I'm covering your face there, Sorrel. When we were at For the Love of Horror last year, there was a whole host of critter little things. And I nearly picked up some of those from the Critters movies, which were kind of custom things, which were really cool. Just quickly jump into the chat. Phil's asking if he can flog his Marvel Legends on here. Absolutely, Phil. Put them in the chat, mate. I'm sure people will pick them up. So is the Slimer a mask? Do you know what? I don't know, Phil.
Yeah, they're all masks.
It's a mask, is it?
Yeah, they're all masks. Everything's been announced so far that they've put out on that preview. They were all the mask previews for the year.
Okay. I mean, I do like the Slimer, mind. I do like the Slimer.
But it's like half of Slimer already if you put that on your head. You know what I mean? Like you have to wear like a black nylon thing and then just do the rest of the body just to make it look like
I feel like a lot of these masks, they're sold not so much for the use of wearing, but as busts, right? You have them on a stand and they just look fantastic.
So,
unfortunately, with the Slimer, I'd want the arms attached to it.
Yeah. It's funny you're saying that, Luke, because I bought the, I've mentioned this on another show, I bought the Child's Play mask, the Chucky mask, to go with my Chucky outfit when I went to Love of Horror. And I couldn't walk around in that bloody thing because the eye holes are so small. You literally can't see a thing. So you're right. I think these are designed more for high-end props rather than a wearable mask, I think. Fuzzy saying the Thundercats look rough. I have to agree, Fuzzy. I'm not a fan of those. But I guess they look like the action figures. They're meant to look plasticky, I guess. And the more I say the Beetlejuice, the more I don't like it. Something's not right about it. I like it as a mask. It doesn't give us Michael Keaton vibes, I have to say. But I'm not sure if it's meant to. I don't know if it's meant to be a Michael Keaton likeness or just a Beetlejuice as a character kind of likeness. I don't know.
I wondered whether it was meant to be based on the second movie with it because it looks older. It doesn't look like the original Beetlejuice. I wonder whether that's meant to be like the new the Beetlejuice 2, maybe.
That's a really good point. I didn't think of that.
I was thinking that when you showed us the other day, but I think it would say Beetlejuice 2 on the top.
Yeah.
It would just be the title.
Generic
I'm
Beetlejuice.
sure the second one's going to have a new logo, I would think, and everything.
Yeah.
But in regards to the Mogwai props, you can get the Mogwai puppet props still with madabout.horror.co.uk. They've still got them in stock for $79.95 for the full size Gremlin props. They've got most of them in stock except the main, obviously, except the main guy himself. But they've got all the others in.
I'll have to have a look. Botox juice, maybe. Yeah.
Botox juice.
Simon, your
Hello.
first slide, mate.
My first slide. Yes, so this was announced last week. It was a Hasbro Pulse announcement. So these are the Pipeline Black Series figures that are coming out. So we've got our Admiral Thrawn, General Admiral Thrawn from the Ahsoka series.
Grand
which is,
Admiral Thrawn.
well,
Simon.
all right,
Lieutenant.
okay.
It's early in the show. Let him off. Let him off.
Jesus, James.
Everybody gets one.
Admiral Thrawn. That's what I don't have to say. Grand. Anyway, yeah. So he's going to be coming out, so I'm looking forward to that. We actually haven't had a figure of him yet, apart from the cartoon version. So this is the first one from the Ahsoka series. Then we got announced the Phantom Menace, which at the moment the only figure I've got from the Phantom Menace pipeline is Jar Jar Binks. So it's interesting that they're bringing these droids out. So you've got the roller droid, destroyer droid, which is pretty cool. And it does roll up as well, and you can folds and everything, which is pretty cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I won't mind pre-ordering that one. And then at the bottom we've got another clone trooper from the Attack of the Clones, Clone Phase 1. And then on the bottom right we have another Phantom. No, not Phantom Menace. It was Clone Wars, where it's C-3PO swaps the head, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, looking forward to that, and another destroyer. So yeah, some really cool announcements. People want more, obviously, on the Phantom Menace pipeline line, because only having Jar Jar Binks there, like the Obi-Wan one, I've got like over 14 figures just for the Obi-Wan series, and the same, and the same for some of the others, Andor and things like that, where you've only got Jar Jar Binks for the Phantom Menace pipeline.
Yeah.
So adding more figures, that's what we've been wanting for a while. So.
Cool stuff. What? Just looking at the droid thing that folds up. What's that toy line called? Where the little balls and you throw them and the kind of the magnetize.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You would want it to burst open, wouldn't you, after you've thrown it? Like,
what are they called? Does anyone know? It's not Bakugan or something, is it? Bakugan rings a bell.
That sounds. You're close, I think.
Yeah.
On the verge of it. I'm surprised it doesn't come with a shield.
Yeah, clip-on shield.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah, the ball. I know you could just put two halves in the box.
Clip-on shield that is actually one of those Sphero machines that you can remote control around everywhere. That's what you'd want.
I think that you're asking too much for Hasbro.
Yeah, Jack, Bakugan or something. I think it is. Yeah.
Bakugan sounds right.
Bakugan. Yeah.
Bakugan, yeah.
Jackson, that's not the spelling, but it sounds about right. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Okie dokie. 1/6 scale sexiness. So this is Black Manta from Aquaman. Any of you guys seen the latest Aquaman movie?
Nope. It's the only
Nope.
DCEU movie I didn't go see in the cinema.
It's not the best. I mean, it's all right. It's not the best. I would say Black Manta out of all the characters is probably one of my favourites. I do like his costume design. With this in the movie, you get kind of a mystic trident thing, which you'll have seen in the trailers, which is this glowing green trident. I like that they're giving you the trident and the glowing trident. That's pretty cool. Will I be buying this? Nah. Absolutely not, but that's because of the movie more than anything else. But I do think it looks a pretty cool figure. Any of you guys interested in this?
It's a great, if you want a comic book version of Black Manta, or just put on a pair, even just remove it from the movie. I think it's a cool looking figure. Like, it's a good design, very comic accurate,
Crap. Fuzzy tat. Yeah. What the frig is that? Honestly, that's Black Manta. If you've never read an Aquaman comic, Fuzzy, that's what he looks like in the comics.
They didn't want to do a laser effect or something for the eyes or anything like that, no?
I don't know if the eyes light up or not, to be honest.
Or a head sculpt even for the actor.
Yeah. But yeah, it's all right. Oh, we've got Arissa Jack. Haven't seen you for a while. Hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're fitting well, bud. Hope you're fitting well. So yeah, nice that they've actually produced it, or that it is kind of being touted as being produced. I'm not sure many of these will see the light of day, to be honest. I think the film was that much of a disappointment. I can't imagine many people having an Aquaman collection going on, but still, it's not bad. It's not bad figure. James, this has been out today, then pulled straight away again, hasn't it?
Yeah, there's 3 new bits of shit show since I sent you the slide. So Suicide Squad Killed the Justice League. So first off, today the game was early access. If you pre-ordered it, you had access today. It was up for an hour, and then there was some bug that when people logged on, the game was like finished for them. So they had like access to the end game stuff, so they had to pull it. So it was up for an hour. I still think it's down. So that's the first bit of this. But they showed a trailer last week of. Oh, also they didn't send review codes out to like game reviewers, so that's never a good sign, really. Like typically they're hiding the quality of the game. Usually they want those first few days sales before 6 and 7 start coming in from like IGN and GameSpot. So yeah, not good, not looking good. But they showed off we had a trailer last week for the end game content, so some DLC characters that are coming. The first one is the Joker. Now, this baffles me, right? So the whole setup for the like DLC characters is that it's like they have like an Elseworld portal, so like different versions of characters are going to come through it. I'm assuming we're going to get like the Teen Titans version of Deathstroke will come through, like the John Cena Peacemaker and shit like that, So it gives them the opportunity to, because it's set in the Arkham universe, to like redesign characters if they want to. If characters have died, they can bring it back, all that. That being said, this is the Joker, and he looks shit. And they had, like, in the Arkham universe, you have the what I think is the best portrayal of the Joker across any medium, both Mark Hamill and Troy Baker's versions. So I don't understand why they didn't just, like, pull that character from, like, earlier in the timeline. Like, give us the Troy Baker version. I would have been excited if there was the Troy Baker version of the character, So yeah, it's just baffling to me. Like, and I know that it's sort of the style of it. It's like he's younger. He's more like a vaudeville kind of like almost Cesar Romero-esque. But like it just not good. Like
Yeah, I'm disappointed in this because my son was desperate to get this.
yeah.
And I've said to him, everything I've heard, everything you've said, James, everything I've seen advertised about it, it's just looking worse and worse and worse. This is a one that'll come to kind of, do you know, on PlayStation you get that if you pay your monthly fee.
It'll be free in 6 months. It's 33% off already. If you go on Amazon,
not
it's
even
20
out.
quid off. Yeah. So pre-orders must be dismal.
Jesus.
It's really just a shit show. It's such a shame. Rocksteady was such a great studio, you know, like the Arkham series, like some of the best developers out there. So like just the way this has gone shit way so much. And like the annoying thing is like I'm waiting for reviews to get the game. So if it gets like 8 and 9 kind of across the board, like I would be downloading my copy now, but like, because they're not giving them to reviewers, I'm not gonna buy it if I don't know if it's shit or not, you know.
Doesn't bode well, does it? Doesn't bode well. We've got 17 people watching. Please do hit that like and subscribe. Make sure you check out everybody on screen's channels. We've got Hydra Collectibles. We've got James T. Keegan over at One Good Scare Show. We've got Comic Guy Simon. And, of course, Super Sorrel. Please do check them out and give them a sub. Any of you guys thinking of getting this? Any of you... Sorrel, I don't know, are you a gamer?
Yeah, I'm a gamer, but no, this looks atrocious. I'm not going to.
It just doesn't look... It just doesn't look good, does it?
I like the storyline, like, you know, with all the goodies against the bad guys. I think the storyline arc is quite good, but
Yeah,
the
you can watch
portrayal
it
of the
on
characters.
YouTube though. You know, you don't have to pay.
Yeah,
70
exactly.
quid for it, so yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't play it. So.
No.
it's a shame.
Fuzzy's saying, is that Boomerang? Yeah, that's Captain. Well, it's meant to be Captain Boomerang or a version of Captain Boomerang. Sean's working through his backlog on PS5. Should be done in
Tell me about it, man.
24 hours.
Games are long nowadays. Like,
The whole game looks abysmal, not just the Joker. Yeah, I can't disagree, mate. Luke, what are these?
Yeah, so these were a bit of a surprise to me last week. I was just scouring through YouTube, as we so often do, and I came across the 9 to 5 Warriors, and it just harkened right the way back to the Food Fighters. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Food Fighters back in the day. But yeah, I thought these looked great, you know, and as someone who likes the original Food Fighters, I thought this was right up my alley. So I instantly went online to see who was stocking them, where we could pre-order them from. Couldn't find anyone in the UK, but Big Bad Toys does have them up for sale. Super Sorrow, I don't know if you know anyone in the UK that might have them.
Didn't even know this existed till about 5 seconds ago.
So
Currently Googling.
so it's basically the food waste versus the office supplies, and I love it. I can really imagine people having these on their desks at work just for a laugh, a bit of fun. And there is actually he's right there under the post-it note by the monitor. He's a Scotch tape, so he's dressed in Scottish attire, and you can actually put real Scotch tape inside him and use him as a dispenser.
Beautiful.
He looks absolutely fantastic. So I, for one, am really looking forward to these. I think these are going to be great, and I think they fit right in with that original toy line of Food Fighters. I don't think they're made by the same people. I think it's kind of made as a homage to those. But yeah, I'm excited to get my hands on some of these.
They look very cool. I do like the look of those. They are cool. That said, Luke, as much as I like them, if you're going to get a small scale figure, these are probably the figures to get. So, Super Sorrel, tell you a little bit about these.
So these are mine and Jacob's new creation, Pocket Goblins. They are basically like Monster in My Pocket, Muscle, anything you used to have in the 90s as a kid, as a toy, basically. We're trying to basically recapture that nostalgia with Pocket Goblins. They are coming in blind bag format, so you can buy as many as you want, or you can come with us now on Kickstarter and guarantee your entire set of 8. But there are going to be a bunch more in the line as time goes on. And we've already planned like at least 3 series of these. We've got a lot in the pipeline for it. So it is on Kickstarter if you want to check it out.
Yeah, I mean, these look amazing. I had a good look last night. I backed. These remind me very much. I mentioned it on the show last night. I used to get the Muscle Men. Do you remember those? They were like a salmon-y colour figure. So I used to collect those when I was in Nipper. So yeah, these look very, very cool. And I have to say, hats off to you guys for actually, you know, getting off your backsides and creating something. I think this is something that a lot of would want to do. Your own little toy line, I think, is amazing. So yeah, so please do go check them out over on on Kickstarter. Fuzzy's impressed with my segue technique.
I was about to say, like, if only Luke's shameless plugs were that smooth, you know, like it's...
The reason mine work is that they are shameless.
Yeah, it's very true. Very true.
That's a really cool thing, man. I think that's awesome to be doing that, you know.
We've got Andy from Perpetual Comics. Nice to see you, Andy. Hope you're well. Chris in Muscle Vibes. Yeah, mate. Absolutely. I haven't got in my collection any original muscles, and that's wrong. I need to do that. I'm going to have to jump on and...
Yeah, I can't imagine you with muscles, Pete. Hey. Come on, you set me up for that now. You threw me the ball. I
did.
I had to hit it. Like...
Andy, love a bit of Scottish typecasting in a toy. Okai the New, etc. Yeah. Absolutely. What's the Kickstarter link, please? Sorrel, are you able to put it in the chat?
No, I've not joined on my YouTube. I'm on a different PC.
No problem. It's dead easy. If you go on to Kickstarter, Chris, and just type in Pocket Goblins, it comes straight up. You'll see the little logo that we just showed you there. Little logo there. It's easy to find.
If you go on the private chat now, someone who's on the chat, they can paste it in for us into the comments if you don't mind. If someone's signed in.
Excuse me. There we go.
Thank you.
Yeah, so please do check them out. They're very, very cool. Reminds me of Monsters in My Pocket. Yeah, absolutely, bud. Absolutely. So please do check them out and support Sorrel and Jacob. Like I say, I'm always a big supporter of people who get off the backsides and do stuff. So I think it's a great thing to do.
Yeah, if you check out the adverts, we made a stupid little '90s advert to go with it, and you might hear a familiar voice, and if someone saying like "put a monster in your pocket," and it might be my voice. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. So please check that out. Okay, moving on. Simon, we're back up with you, mate.
Hello. Yeah, this is McFarlane's Hal Jordan Parallax. So yeah. Really cool figure. It's glow in the dark as well, which is a really cool feature. So, like McFarlane, they always articulate really, really good figures. So, do you know much about the Parallax?
Yeah, Parallax's Hal Jordan, when he went crazy during Emerald Twilight, I believe it was, and became one with the battery and was infused with the... Then later on became the Parallax entity, which is the fear entity, which kind of went into him. But this suit design is stunning, and I remember, it must be a good 20 years ago, whenever McFarlane Toys first kind of came out, they did a Parallax figure, and I remember buying it at the time. It wasn't glow in the dark or anything, but it was a stunning figure. So yeah, I really, really like this. I don't collect many smaller scale figures, but I have to say, I'm a big fan of this particular design of the character, so I might pick one of these up. What about the rest of you guys? Anybody else interested in this one?
Looks cool, but not a big Green Lantern fan, so
Yeah.
I like the design though. It's good.
Yeah, it is a very cool character. And you were talking about this one last night, Sorrel, as well. Is this the one that you would pick up yourself? Or?
No. I'm not a Green Lantern fan. I'm more of a Marvel guy, but I do like Batman's Rogue Gallery is kind of where my DC knowledge lies.
Yeah. Me too. I mean, I'm more Marvel than DC. I just think this was kind of my reading heyday when DC was kind of bumping off a lot of its big name characters. It was a cool storyline. It's worth a read. Emerald Twilight. Now, I know nought about this. I'm going to do a Simon. I don't know anything about the slide I'm putting up, really. But Simon...
I was hoping you're going to put this up.
Simon, I'm relying on
this
you
is
to know a little bit.
Ash, not Ashy.
This is from the League of Legends. This is the 1/6. I think this is the second figure from the League of Legends line.
The other one was Kasai. So yeah.
This looks pretty cool, mind. I have to say, I like the water effect. I like the image in the center there. You can see the stand comes for like the arrow effect that she's creating with her bow. I think that's pretty cool. I do quite like that. Tell me a little bit about the character, Simon, because I don't know anything about her.
Well, League of Legends have tons of characters, so I don't know the back history of Ash, but it is one of their main characters that have been in League of Legends for years, the game. So they're bringing out the main characters first, I would suggest, the more favorite ones, and Ash is one of those. She's I don't know if everyone plays League of Legends, but usually you use her on the bot lane, so it's called the bot lane.
Did you say the bot lane?
The bot lane, yeah. So
Up north, that's something else, a bot lane.
Well, I'll have to explain League of Legends a different day.
No.
Yeah.
Anybody play League of Legends apart from Simon? Is it
No,
something?
I
anybody
watched.
else?
I watched the first episode of Arcane, and I just wasn't a fan, to be honest.
How dare
Yeah.
you?
I don't know. Maybe I should have given it another couple. I might go back. I've just heard amazing stuff. I like the universe, but like I'm not a fan of that type of gameplay. But I do like the look of the if I'd imagine I'd be jumping up and down if I was a League of Legends fan seeing these things. What does surprise me is they've not done Jinx. I know Jinx is the only character I'm able to name from this franchise, and they've not. And I've seen a couple of third parties are doing Jinxes, but aToys hasn't. And I'd imagine she's like in the next couple of announcements we'll get a Jinx.
I think you bang on, James. I think in terms of Hot Toys, it's great that they're steering away a little bit from Marvel and Star Wars
I love
and
seeing
doing
them do
something
gaming
different.
stuff. Yeah,
You know?
absolutely. Yeah.
I still think, mind, just whilst we're on the gaming side of things, I still think it's criminal that we've not got a Cal from
Tell
Star
me about
Wars.
it. Literally, as you were mid sentence, I was there like he's gonna say Cav. It's shocking. Like, really
I mean, the fact that they put
astounding.
box art out from the last game for that trooper
Yeah.
and didn't give her it's very
There's
strange.
a line for that game that doesn't have the main character. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. Not one for me. Just going to quickly jump to the chat, guys. Jack, Kyle Rayner, his favourite Lantern. Yeah, I do. I don't know what he's doing these days. I don't really read a lot of modern DC, but I used to like Kyle. Pat Bear, nice to see you, my friend. League of Legends, yeah. I remember when we all said we're picking up that set of Batmans. Did anybody? Absolutely not. No, I didn't buy. That was that was the set of, was it the movie set which had all the different movie
Yeah, I think
costumes?
so, yeah.
I don't think I ever actually saw it for sale anywhere, to be honest. But I can't
Probably
say
an
I-
exclusive.
Yeah, I can't say I ever looked for it, mate, to be fair. But yeah, no, fuzzy, we didn't, mate. We didn't. Indy.
So
Before you start, James, I'm just going to say that graphic of Harrison Ford at the bottom corner there
yeah.
looks better than 95% of the shit that was in the movie. That they did.
Absolutely, the character model looks incredible. Yes, this is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. So this is from Machine Games. This is unveiled at it was announced a couple of years ago, but it's been unveiled now at Microsoft's latest kind of developer showcase. Now some really cool stuff. There was another game called Avowed that looked interesting, but this was like the main event. Everybody was excited for this. So yeah, Machine Games did the Wolfenstein games, the most recent ones.
Okay.
So like really incredible studio. People have been kind of hyped for this. It's gonna be Xbox and PC exclusive. So I love the look of it. It's cool. Interesting choice to go first person. Like I know Machine Games, Wolfenstein is first person. They're a great first person studio, but I would have thought they would have gone third person, knowing that a lot of people it's a turn off. The first person stuff. But it looks really cool. Like lashing the whip out, the fist fights and stuff. Troy Baker is playing Indiana Jones, and he sounds like identical to Harrison Ford. Like it's insane. Really cool story, and it's out this year as well. So like this is the big kind of end of year game I think on the horizon. So I'm gonna get an Xbox to play this if it's getting like 9s and 10s and stuff. I think it could. I understand going first person like distinguishes it a bit from like Uncharted and Tomb Raider. So I suppose that's a fair choice there.
You see, you're saying that. For me, first person appeals even more because as soon as you said it, I'm thinking of the mechanics of using the whip. Do you know what I mean? I just think that would be so cool.
Yeah, jumping and swinging. The camera pulls out during some sequences. So like if you're climbing a ladder, or I think if you're swinging on the whip, it'll come back out so you can see him. But like I was like, oh, that's when they said first person, I was like, that's a bit of a shame. I'd be more excited if it was third. But then there's like in the gameplay, he's walking and there's a spotlight behind him and you just see the silhouette with the hat and the whip, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. So yeah,
I need
I'm really
something
stoked.
positive about Indiana Jones after the last movie, so this has got us excited.
Yeah.
Anybody else thinking of picking this one up?
I've only ever played one Indiana Jones game my entire life, and it was on the Master System.
Yeah,
True.
that's how old we are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, if I think I just need to upgrade the console, but the thing is I'm looking for that one game that will force my hand to do it. Much like you were saying, Peter, all those months leading up to you getting yours. It's if the right game comes along, then I'll go all in and I'll buy it, and then I'll start playing more games after that. But there's not been. I mean, ironically, and James will love this, I only ever wanted a PlayStation 3 to play The Last of Us. And I still never actually made that jump. I still never actually went and got
there's
it.
an upgraded version for every PlayStation since. So if you got a PS5 now, you have a PS5 version. That's modern graphics. So yeah. Simon, do you be interested in this one?
No.
Care to elaboration anyway? Why? Or we'll just move on, will we?
Yeah. Indiana Jones doesn't interest me, so that sort of game's never going to
Have you
interest
ever
me
watched them?
anyway. Yeah, of course I have. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah, the classics. So I haven't watched the new one, because I
same.
heard bad
Fair
things
enough.
about it. So.
So don't bother, Simon. Don't bother. How about you, Sorrel? Are you an Indiana Jones fan?
I'm an Indiana Jones fan, but I'm just waiting for the DLC to be announced where Blazkowicz is the new playable character.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
He's gonna get all of the Dial to Destiny. He's gonna turn up in the past
yeah,
or something. Yeah, it's gonna
That'd
happen.
be
innit?
amazing. Actually, I'd love that. Yeah.
Yeah, we've got a few comments. Panels and half pints. Please, God, let this be good. He really needs a good indie game. Yeah, mate.
I think it will. The pension to the studio, like the Wolfenstein games, are incredible. And incredible first-person games. They also similar kind of aesthetic to them. There's a World War II kind of element, some sci-fi stuff thrown in there as well. So, I think it matches really well.
Looks good. Jack, what are you playing right now on your PS5, Peter? So I got the PS5. My son got an Xbox at Christmas, an updated one. I got the PS5. He's played pretty much all on the PS5 this week. I was just saying to James the other day, I've got a whole host of games. I've picked up Spider-Man. I've picked up God of War, the latest one of those.
God, you'll love it.
And the one before that.
Yeah.
I've picked up loads of games, Alien, all kinds of stuff, all the geeky games you'd expect us to buy, and they've done my tits in because I cannot get past. I bought the Avengers as well, even though it was panned. I cannot get past the first 15-20 minutes of having to set up, accounts with different companies and things like that.
Depends on what's a PlayStation, Sony games. You're not going to have to do that. Like you don't.
I will get through it. I'm sure. I just haven't had the time because of stuff going on at the moment.
You only have to do that once per publisher.
Once you've got it
so
set
one
up.
EA, one Square Enix, one Ubisoft.
The game I've probably spent the most time on is I've been playing Mortal Kombat with my son. That's been good fun. And Shredder's Revenge, side-scrolling old arcade game. Really, really been enjoying that. That's been a good fun
That's
game to play.
on Netflix now.
Is it?
You can play it on Netflix. Yeah.
Wow.
Netflix has a whole
very
gaming
cool.
section, and they have Shredder's
Very
Revenge
cool.
on it. Yeah.
Phil saying I haven't played PlayStation in like 3 months, but I'm always tempted to buy more games. This looks good. It certainly does. Sean saying
It's
Dead
not on
Space.
PlayStation, so you can't buy it. You have to buy an Xbox for it.
All right.
Yeah. Sounds cool.
Dead Space, is that one you were talking about the other day, James?
That was, yeah. So the remake came out there last year, but one of the best horror games ever made, I think. Really incredible atmosphere. So,
Last indie game I played was the arcade version of Temple of Doom. Wow, that's going back as well. How many games do you have in your collection, Peter? Must be over 200 games now. Yeah. On the PS5, no, not a lot. I think I've got about maybe 15 or something
well,
like that.
you have like PS Plus,
Yeah,
the middle
got
tier,
access to
so
all that
you
as
have
well.
access to 70, 80 games, I would say, on that.
You're so old, Peter.
Bit uncalled for
Thanks.
that.
God of War is so good. Definitely worth the platinum.
Yeah,
I
100%.
really enjoyed
I
it.
have a platinum for it. Yeah, it's great.
Loses rag at setting up the PlayStation. Quite right. Pretty infuriating. Luke, we're back with you, mate.
Yeah, so Super 7, they just cancelled their lines, which is, I mean, to be fair, the lines weren't doing very well, but it still comes at a bit of a shock. They had the license to do two of the biggest franchises. Obviously, you got the Disney animated stuff, and then you got the Simpsons, and they kind of fumbled it. They didn't do very well. They could have fixed it, in my opinion, if they had released the core family of The Simpsons in Wave 1 and then let people build from there, then maybe they would have had more of a fighting chance than the ones that they released. And then again, with the Disney stuff, if they had just focused on one film at a time, like give us Robin Hood and do an array of characters, then move on to the Jungle Book, then move on to the Lion King or whatever else you want to do. But instead, all this mixing and matching and different variant characters and everything else, I can kind of see why it didn't work out, and their figures are very expensive. And yeah, I'm both shocked and not so shocked that this has failed.
I mean, I've started picking up the Super 7 Thundercats line a little while ago, and I have to say it was very, very strange that you don't get a first. I've still not got a full set of what I would class the core Thundercat figures. Each wave has like a key member, and then a random character, then a variant or something like that. So we're still not, I think they're out now, but I still haven't picked up Wily Kit and Wily Cat. Snarf's just been released, I think. So it is a strange way of doing the releases, I guess.
It really is. I mean, like, again, their biggest competitor or rival or best comparison would be NECA. And NECA does release these characters all together. You know, you get the chance to buy all of the Turtles, for example, in Wave 1, and you've got the core team and you build upon it from there. Whereas this, not so much. It's a little bit all over the place.
Yeah. What do the rest of you guys think? Any comments on this? No.
I think,
sorry, go on.
I think obviously for the price of them, the Disney line like more would be for kids, wouldn't it? And obviously there's nostalgia Disney, so. But yeah, looking at those Simpsons ones, I wouldn't have done those characters.
How much do they cost?
They're expensive. They're like
Yeah.
60, 70 quid per figure.
Yeah, they're supposed to kind of mimic the cheap ones you'd get when you were younger, isn't it?
But
So,
the
like,
thing
it's-
is, I've wanted these Robin Hood figures. Yeah, look, I've wanted these Robin Hood figures for as long as I can. Like, I didn't even know that I wanted them. You know, it's something from my childhood that is so nostalgic. And as soon as they announced them, I was like, these look fantastic. But what's the point in buying them now if it's all been cancelled? You know, I would at least want Robin Hood and like Little John, Friar Tuck, and all like it. That should have been your Wave 1. You know, you should have got them all together.
have any from the line been released?
A couple of them have been released. Yeah, what's he got
Oh,
there?
nice.
Look at that. See, look, the Big Bad Wolf was the best one in the line.
Oh, nice.
Big Bad Wolf was beautiful.
And they never got to Robin or the King. No. That's
So, do you pick up a lot of these in Sorrel?
I've got all of them. I've got the entire. I've got both. I've got the entire of the line. I'm a big Disney fan, so I collect them straight. As soon as I started doing like Fantasia and Robin Hood and Big Bad Wolf, and they were all characters from like the old films, Alice in Wonderland. They did Alice and Mad Hatter. They did the Queen of Hearts. Then they had a Stitch randomly thrown in, like the Big Hippo from Fantasia and stuff like that. They were all really cool random characters. But it's Disney that's pulled the license in, and because Disney owns Fox now, the Simpsons went with it. As soon as Disney pulled out,
right.
they took both lines offline. And it's not just it isn't just the Ultimate series. They've pulled the license with Super 7 altogether, so it includes their like the reaction line they do, the little card back 3/4 inch 5 POAs. All of them, anything that was related to that line, anything that's owned by Disney is gone now from that company.
Ah.
So
I wonder
it's,
what
it's the mouse that pulled the franchise.
I wonder why that is. I wonder what they're planning to do with those licenses moving forward.
On a live stream with it's not Robbo from the Fwoosh, it's the other guy that runs the Fwoosh. He did a live stream with the man from Super 7 who makes these, and he basically said that the Disney pulled the license because they weren't going in the same direction that the company wanted them to. So it sounds like Disney wanted them to do more main characters that are like Disney wanted to push for the films maybe, and Super 7 were like, no, we're sticking with the nostalgic route, and I think they just had a big fallout.
I mean, I do see that, like I say, in the Thundercat line that I collect, because there are. I mean, I consider myself by no means an expert, but I'm fairly well versed with Thundercats, and I see some of the figures that they're putting out from Super 7, and I think, what the hell? That's like a really when I haven't got a Snarf yet, or I haven't got a Wiley Kit, a cat, you know, and they're putting out Weird the Driller or whatever. I think, really, that's a strange route to go.
But
down.
the I will say the Mumra figure they did was absolutely superb.
Yeah, I've got him.
You know,
Stunning.
he's
Absolutely
great.
stunning.
Disappointed that I've got to buy a second.
Yeah. I mean, I've got all of the Thundercat main line, like the main cat, what our class as the main characters now, other than Snarf, Wiley Kit, and Cat. I've even got the glow in the dark Jagger. He's stunning, absolutely stunning.
When it comes to Disney, it's hard to knock them out as fast as McFarlane have been able to. So McFarlane have been knocking the Disney stuff out left, right, and center. And they've been like making them a bit more steampunky and a bit more
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, so like the Maleficent one is beautiful with the big crow on the staff and stuff. They've been putting these out at like 20 quid versus the £55. And there's not much in it, to be honest. Other than a bit of cloth goods, there's not much in it.
That's weird, because isn't McFarlane Toys like tied to Warner Brothers? So it's weird that they do Disney figures, isn't it? Yeah.
They've got the rights to do the Disney the video games. This is the mobile game. I forgot the name of it.
Okay.
Mirrorverse.
That's it. Yeah.
So they're doing the Mirrorverse line. But it's weird because like Captain Hook's sword's got blood on it and stuff. So I mean, for Disney,
Well,
that's
a
a
cool
bit.
touch. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, McFarlane Toys, there's no doubt about it. They are, you know, a big hitter now in the toy market. They get a lot of very, very strong licenses.
Yeah,
But
they're
because of Todd McFarlane's enthusiasm and passion for the actual product, you know.
Yeah,
and
but
for
equally,
decent
like-
price as well.
Yeah,
Like,
those,
for the
that's where it's
prices,
going to
you've got-
change.
Best
You've
value
got a
for
big
money.
announcement, obviously Diablo and World of Warcraft. Loads of figures just dropped for those as well. So yeah.
So
They're all
McFarlane's
statues, though, aren't they? They're all statues. I wish they were movable figures. They're all statues. Like those orcs would have been amazing if they just moved.
Yeah.
Sorry, off on a slight tangent here. World of Warcraft. I loved that bloody movie, and then nothing ever happened with it. Did any of you guys see it, Warcraft?
Yep. It was at the time the highest grossing video game movie ever.
Yeah.
I think Mario might be the record then.
Surprised we didn't get like a sequel or a continuation onto that one.
Very expensive, wasn't it? Like it was all
Yeah.
half of it, most of it CG and like photorealistic CG. So like it was pricey on movie to make.
Okay, next slide, guys. Sorrel, tell us a little bit about this.
It's a collector's con. It is going to be in Bolton later this year, in the 30th of March, around Easter time. There's going to be a lot of YouTubers there. There's myself, Jacob's Toys, Thu Adams, who does the Transformers toy reviews, Fuller's Figures, and Power Ranger Lightning Collector 2021 from Power Rangers, and AJWF, who is a WWE YouTuber. We're all big YouTubers in his own right, and we're going to be doing a big collectors panel. So we're going to chat about our collections and toys and just have a big old toy day. And there's going to be about 50, 60 stalls there as well, all selling action figures and collectibles. So it should be a good day out.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this one, guys. This is on 30th of March in Bolton, and it's really being kind of sold as an action figure convention.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be popping down for the day because it's not too far from me. And I'm excited about it just being predominantly action figures because a lot of the toy fairs I go to, I don't know about you guys, but there's an awful lot of kind of train sets and, that kind of vintage stuff. Whereas more predominantly action figures and, hopefully nostalgia figures is really appealing to us.
Yeah,
So
a lot of the conventions we go to these days have like a fudge stall and someone selling cupcakes with Power Rangers on it. So I mean, there's none of that there now. There's none of that there.
He's not a fan of the fudge stalls anyway.
I've done a video on that.
Yeah, there's none of that at this con. At this con's going to be literally it's all the good sellers from the Comic Cons. Like aToys is going to be there. Dario is a personal friend of mine, and Time Travel Toys are there. There's going to be some big names, and we're trying to get Mad About Horror to come along, and so there's going to be some good toy stalls there. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun day, that one. Can't wait. Phil, they're on sale currently, Luke, on McFarlane's website. Good stuff. Thank you for that, Phil. Corgi, Dinky, and train sets. Yeah, that's what a lot of the ones around where I am tend to do as well. Okie dokie.
Oh, mine again. So we got announced some more McFarlane toys. Batman from The Dark Knight. So you've got Anne Hathaway's Catwoman with her bike, which I think looks pretty cool. So, I like that bike. It looks really cool figure. Then you've got the good old Christian Bale Batman. So yeah, looked really good.
Yeah, both quite nice. I'll not be picking up either of those. Any of you guys interested in those figures?
If they release the Anne Hathaway one separately, I might get that to go with the Bale's Batman and stuff. But as it comes at the minute with the bike, I'm not paying that price for the bike.
It's a bit expensive. Yeah,
it's a bit like the Lobo one when they released Lobo, and it's like it looks awesome, but I've got nowhere to put it, and it's a massive bike, and it's not worth the money.
Yeah. I mean, it's a while since I've seen the movie. Lobo and his bike makes sense to us because it's iconic. That's not her bike. That's the Batman bike.
So
He uses it in the end sequence a lot.
do you think it's not so much that you're buying the bike? Do you think the bike's been thrown in because they have to spend so much for her likeness?
Maybe.
Essentially.
I think even if she was released as a single figure, I think it would still be that expensive. I think they're probably giving you the bike for free just to make you feel better about the purchase.
The thing is, she's coming as a separate release in like a month's time. They'll put her up as a single carded figure straight away. They just want you to buy the bike first.
Yeah.
It's like what Hasbro do every year.
And McFarlane, didn't he quite controversially say a while ago that his female figures don't sell? So I wonder if he's putting the bike in there to try and entice people in a little bit.
I feel like Anne Hathaway Catwoman would be a decent seller, though.
I'd love a decent 1/6 scale Catwoman. Saying that, mind, I'd go for a Michelle Pfeiffer before.
Yeah, second best, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, very cool. I like that. I can't remember if I mentioned this to you guys last time. I know we talked about the Superman figure, which was done by these guys, which was very kind of Superman the animated series. They then pushed out Dark Hero, which is that one with the black bat sign on the center there, which is very, very cool. Did we talk about this or not? I can't remember. I don't think
Yeah,
we did.
we talked about the Superman. I don't know if
We talked about the Superman. Anyway, the Batman came out a few days later, and as you can imagine, I jumped on that straight away and pre-ordered that because it looks amazing. And
You
then
must
just
be running
last
out of room by now.
week- I can, you know,
I'm struggling
Squeeze 'em in.
here. I'm struggling
got-
here, and your
got
collection's
two.
much bigger.
I've got 2 children. They don't need their own rooms. So yeah,
Kick 'em
so then
out.
I did pre-order this Dark Hero, and then they've released literally last week or the week before this Shadow Hero, which is the same body, all the same accessories, same head sculpts and whatnot, except it comes with the blue backed cape, the yellow belt, and the yellow bat sign as well. So I've had to. I think I'm going to have to order him as well, haven't you? But,
Two
Well,
of them.
It's the
Just
animated
can't believe
series
it.
versus the new Batman Adventures. So like you want the
Yeah.
animated series one, don't you? So yeah, fair.
which one appeals to you guys most? If you could only have one, Luke, we'll
right.
start with you. If you can only have one,
I'd-
which one are you going for?
I'd go for the yellow
Yeah,
bat
the
symbol.
traditional.
Yeah.
How about you,
But
James?
yeah, I think you with your multiverse, like you're just buying too
Yeah.
many Batman figures.
No, I'm not buying too many. Says the man with 1,000 turtles. Do you know what I mean? You can,
Well,
you
you
can
should
have
have you should have come at me with Battle Cats, really. but
battle
no.
cats, yeah. I'm thinking of having like a multiversal shelf of different variations of Batman, different variations of Superman on the shelf below. James, what about you? Which one would you go?
Yellow
for?
Oval. It's a classic Batman animated series one. You know, I like the new Batman Adventures. Like, it's a continuation, but like, yeah, that's the classic look, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
just more color in it as well. I like it. It pops.
Yeah, lots of people are saying these are pretty cool. Simon, what about you?
I'd go for the one on the right, yellow one. I think, yeah, it looks better.
Oh, Highland J, nice to see you, bud. Sorrel, what about you?
Yeah, the yellow one.
See,
Classic.
so you see, you're all saying exactly the same thing as I think. I think this company have been very smart in releasing the first one, the black symbol one first. Everybody thought, oh, this looks really cool, jumped on it, and then they've literally released this one the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, but
It's a
they
little
can,
bit sneaky, I think.
can people just cancel their order and
You
then
can. You lose your deposit, which was, I think, 10
So
quid or
pocketed
something
an
like that.
extra 50 or 10, is it?
Yeah, I think the deposit, because it's not you don't pay your deposit to this actual company. It's whoever you bought this thing off, you know. But I don't know. I like them both, so yeah, I'll be buying both. I'll keep both. I think they're sexy. I might have one displayed with the cowl off, actually.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on, because you get a cloth cowl with it, which I quite like. You've not had that before, so you can have the cowl in his hand. I
Yeah,
think that
that'd
would
be
look
cool.
pretty
Like him
smart.
looking down, all sorrowful at it. Yeah.
Okay, James, I have no frigging clue what you and Simon have been prattling on about.
I'll
with
fill
this.
you in. So, now,
How have
Simon,
you not got any clue?
I've not played this. Simon has, so I'll let him talk about the gameplay in a minute. But I'll just explain what it is. So, Power World. This is the hot new game at the moment. It's sold 8 million copies in its first week, 6 days, I think, on Steam. So, like, that's more than you know a Resident Evil would sell. You know, like that's top tier. Basically, the idea, it's a Pokemon ripoff. So it's like a survival game where you like craft things, kind of like Rust or Ark, but there's Pokemon around, and you can like there's guns as well, so you can like shoot the Pokemon to weaken them, or hit them with like hatchets to weaken them, and then like Pokemon, you throw a ball at it to catch it. You can also employ them as slaves to build like things for you. So you put them on like conveyor belts and like make them craft ammo and shit for you. You can also eat them if you get hungry, because you can like die of starvation in the game as well. So like, it's sort of, it almost feels like it's mocking Pokemon a little bit, like it's doing the real world shit with Pokemon that you could do in an actual Pokemon game. But it's just so blatantly a ripoff. Like some of the designs, there's a few like YouTube videos or like Twitter threads you can look at where they compare some of the the Pokemon and the pals, and they're fucking like identical. Like,
So,
some of
I
them
had-
are exactly identical.
I had heard about this and I thought, oh yeah, okay, a Pokemon ripoff. But do you know what? Seeing that little guy holding an AK-47, I'm sold.
It's hilarious.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's awesome, and that's why this game is
I
sold 8
have
million
no
copies.
interest in Pokemon, but that with the little minigun.
I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
with
want
it.
it. It's not on PlayStation yet. But honestly, I think this could be the new Fortnite. Like this will be the new big thing. You know,
It already
it's,
is.
It's on its way there. Yeah, definitely. It's the one everyone's talking about.
It's yeah. So
Simon, what's your thoughts on the gameplay then?
amazing. So it was clean cut. There's the fact that you can do single player and multiplayer. Like you can play 4-player co-op, which is amazing. So you know, craft building. It reminds me a bit like Breath of the Wild gameplay. So but a lot smoother. The graphics are amazing. and it's just hilarious and it's so addictive. It's so addictive because you can also breed pals and create new pals and things like that. So
Yeah.
there's breeding, but you create them and they like will farm for you and feed themselves and look at and like mine and all sorts. So you've got different pals for different things and they've got like different traits. So it's exactly like, there is elements of Pokemon ripoff. I've had it in my wish list for a while.
Okay.
So I knew this
'Cause
was coming
I hadn't
out.
heard of this until it sold 2 million copies already.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like,
No,
so
I've
that's
had
been
it in my wish list for a long
Yeah.
time. It got announced when it first got
Okay.
announced, and I was like, "Oh, this looks basically Pokemon." I got sold Pokemon with guns. I
Well,
was
yeah.
like, "Yeah,
You can pick up a fire Pokemon and use it as a flamethrower. Like,
yeah."
that's
So there's a
kind of-
Foxfire
That's
Pokemon
amazing. Like,
early
yeah.
on, and you
Yeah.
can pick them up and just flamethrow.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So Nintendo now is an incredibly litigious organization. Like a lot of YouTubers, streamers have had issues like streaming gameplay, just gameplay, or like checking out trailers or whatever. So it's kind of mad that it's gotten to this stage already. Now they've released a statement that they're investigating, but a lot of people are speculating that there might just be nothing they can do. Like it's not quite
There isn't.
over the line of copyright
Okay.
infringement.
It's like what they've done is they've took examples of two Pokemon and thought, right, we'll combine these and change it little elements so it's our own.
Yeah.
So, and so the infringement, there's only like 4. I literally watched YouTube before this, where there's actually 4 where they've took actual elements which could be an infringement. But the trouble is, I don't think because they're like not well known Pokemon, I don't think Pokemon's paid the copyright for them. So
Oh, no, Simon, you're just bullshitting.
No,
You're
no,
just
no,
spouting that out your
no, no,
ass
no.
now.
No,
Of course, Pokemon. Of course, Nintendo owns the rights to every single Pokemon. Don't be stupid. Every single one of them goes on a trading
No, but
card.
there's
like,
trademarks. There's trademarks.
Come on. Yes, and they're all
And-
trademarked.
and they
don't be
don't- they're not
stupid.
all trademarked.
Don't
They're not all
spout
trademarked.
shite, Simon. Come on. Okay. You just fucking pull that
Let's
out. Your ass
let's
now.
end that there then. Sure. James is triggered. Marvelous,
Yeah,
marvelous.
come on.
I
Sorry.
was staying quiet so we could use that as a clip later on.
Yeah. Sorrel, is this something that's interesting to you? Or
Palworld.
Pokemon
I do like Pokemon. I like Pokemon, but Palworld looks weird. But the fact that you can eat them, like, I mean, who didn't look at a Tauros as a kid and think, "Bet you're tasty on a barbecue"?
Yeah.
So I mean,
What's
it's roundabouts.
what's more funny, Super Sorrel? There's NCPs which are humans,
Hmm.
and in Pokemon you can't catch them. In Power World you can, and it actually says this
And
is
you can-
inhumane.
Yeah, you
And
can,
then you
employ
can
them as
eat
slaves
them.
then. Yeah, you
Wow.
can run your own slavery camp if you want to. So
Phil's back on you, Simon. Phil's back on you here. Yeah. Okay, let's move on from fake Pokemons. Simon, no, this is
I didn't
Luke.
put this up.
Yeah,
This is
Luke.
me, yeah. So this was more just shock, really, that this exists. Like, why now? Like, what of all the? Surely this was, back in the 90s. What was it, like 96, something like that? It's interesting, to say the least. I don't really know why they made Mr. Freeze the builder figure, to be honest. It's not something. It was more just a talking point, really. It's something that they've made, something that they've released. I get the idea of nostalgia and everything, but I'm just surprised this is existing right now.
So Hot Toys did the Batman and Robin for this line last year, I think it was. It tanked. People just aren't. I don't think people have got a lot of nostalgia for this particular movie anymore. I don't think this is anybody's. I might be doing it a disservice. I can't imagine there's many people who think this is one of the better Batman movies.
no, it's the
James?
worst one, isn't it?
I was going to say
That's
James is
the-
unmuted. I thought he was going to say actually.
No,
he
because I
loves
was
it.
going to say, like, even I watched this as a kid. And
Oh,
hated it. So,
Sorrel's
like,
got it.
These figures sold out instantly. You can't buy them anywhere online. That I know. Of.
Really?
They sold out so quick. The builder figure, admittedly, does look like a toy. It looks awful, but yeah, the Mr. Freeze, they've all sold out instantly. But
I
the
love
Poison
that
Ivy,
we're all. I love that we're all of such a kind of an age now that you say there, this looks like a toy, which is awful. Yeah, it's a toy. Do you know what I mean? We don't want the toys look like toys.
The Poison Ivy though was nearly figure of the year. It was the likeness to Uma Thurman is insane, but the rest of the line is pretty poor. But the Uma Thurman likeness was pretty decent. But yeah, it was we've got Batgirl. Robin didn't really look out like, to be honest. It looks nothing like Chris.
I remember Batgirl's costume in that movie being a lot more silver.
Yeah, so same with Batman. They've done them as pure black, but like he was like more blue than black in the film,
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
So
Dark
Super,
blue.
Super Sorrel, with
Yo.
all the respect in the world, what was the reason for you buying those toys? Did you buy them just because they were hot and others were buying them? Did you buy them to review, or did you buy them because you wanted them?
I wanted them pure nostalgia. It was one of my favorite Batman movies growing up. I'm a
There you
90s kid.
go.
I'm a 90s kid. When I was a kid, I
Wow.
didn't think this film was rubbish. Only as an adult, you look back and go, that is terrible. But as a kid, it was Batman. Same with the Forever.
Perfect, absolutely perfect answer. That's exactly how it should be. You bought them because you wanted them, nostalgia. You loved the movie. Perfect.
James is asking here, how have you got all these figures to hand?
They're all behind me. They're all literally on the cabinet behind me.
Just covered in toys all over them.
He could do the whole show, no slides. Just hold them up.
Look at this. Look at this. So behind me right now, I've got so much on the floor ready to go. It's insane. And I've got a bag over here. Ugh. This bag I bought from Smith's. It is literally full of blind bag products. So I do like blind bags on my channel. It's literally full to the brim of blind bags. So my room is just filled.
Very cool. Very cool.
Putting us all to shame now.
Fuzzy's just saying, Luke said you've passed. Congratulations.
The Hydra seal of approval.
Yeah, very cool. So, speaking of your collection, Sorrel, I spotted you doing a live show a little while ago about these figure lines, and I have to say, these really appealed. Simon, I thought these would be up your street. Tell me a little bit about these, Sorrel, please.
So Fu-Ray Planet. Fu-Ray Planet it's Maestro Union, technically. Maestro Union make Fu-Ray Planet figures, which are like anthropomorphic sort of heroes and villains and stuff. And they've created figures like the Tiger, which is just awesome. I love this thing. It's amazing.
It's very cool.
And it's the fact that they give you so much like ability to change them around. So they've got like different feet, different hands, different heads, and you can basically customize them to be what you want. And every figure comes with a comic book to tell you more about the actual storyline and things. But like the Wolfman, everyone puts the wolf with like the big shotgun and the jacket and stuff. I just have mine literally as like a werewolf monster.
Cool.
Yeah, so that Wolfman, I think I showed that on one of our previous shows, and I said it just looks like an amazing werewolf figure. You know?
Yeah, because we don't get many decent werewolf figures. I mean, I was using the one from Doctor Who for years on my shelf.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy came along and just killed it. So, but yeah, the Maestro Union figures, and the funny part is, in the UK, you can grab these all on Amazon.
Yeah.
They're about 70 quid a pop. Don't get me wrong; they're not cheap, but you can get them all on Amazon with no import fees and stuff. So, they're
But
well
they're
worth
solid
it.
figures, aren't they? The nice, bulky looking figures.
So, absolutely solid, and I've not broke any of them yet playing with them and like pulling them apart and things.
Yeah.
Is
Great
there a
figures.
Wukong figure yet, or
No, they've not
No.
made the monkey one yet, as far as I'm aware. The Wukong one was from Four Horsemen Studios, wasn't it? They made the monkey one.
It is interesting though how, in order to get all the clothing off and stuff, you literally do have to take the figure apart. You know, I can see it is quite worrying. I've seen some people on their videos literally take it all apart and then go, "Shit, I've got to put this back together."
Yeah, so like to build Wolfman, you have to take the thigh off, the lower part of the leg off, the hands, the forearm, the top part of the joint, even the diaphragm part here pulls apart. It literally is fully customizable. So you can just pull the whole thing apart and just have it in bits. But there's about three or four different heads that were included with this one. And like you can sort of just pop the head off so easily and then just pull that off.
wow.
Because you can have different manes and things on it, so you don't have to have the big fluffy mane on. You can swap that around. I don't put the one on the Tiger. I leave his off because his were annoying. I put the big neck muscle piece on, so it makes his back look a bit broader.
Yeah.
But yeah, and you can swap them about as well. Because I've noticed that it's the same ball joint on everything. So you could technically, if you wanted to, pull them apart and put like half the Tiger bits on the werewolf and make him look proper weird. Make your own little
Very
hybrids.
cool. I like those figures. Has anybody got any other figures they want to show off whilst we're on? Anybody picked anything up recently? Nope, not to worry. I'll show you this then. This has come through the post today, so I've not had a proper chance to unpack them and things yet, but this is the Present Toys
Nice.
Blade from Blade 2. This has pleased us no end because Present Toys announced this one. You get all kinds of effects with them. You get all kinds of weapons, guns, his sword, all kinds of stuff. The shades come off. I think it's a pretty good likeness of Wesley Snipes. He's got the
very
tattoos all at the side and everything. But Present Toys put this one out, and I jumped on it immediately. And then now So Toys are doing a version, but theirs is based on the Blade 3 movie, so it's a different costume. So I'm kind of pleased I've stuck with this one because I like the costume. My big worry was I didn't know if it was going to have the red-lined coat. This is all proper leather. And it's all wired as well, so
Beautiful.
you can bend the
Very
coat
nice.
into any shape
Can
you
you
want.
make him ice skate uphill?
Yeah, some motherfuckers always trying to ice skate. Yeah.
So I remember we mentioned this, didn't we? And you had pictures of them side by side. Wasn't there?
Yeah.
The other figure came with an open mouth, or does this one come with?
No, so the other figure, I can't get his eyes on. The other figure comes with a slightly opened mouth showing his teeth, but this one just comes with a one head sculpt. But actually, I'm quite
that's
happy
a
with
better
that.
look, isn't it? It's more
Yeah, that's the
calm,
classic
collected,
kind of
like,
Snipes look, isn't it?
Well, he will always be Blade to me. Even I know
Oh,
they're going to give us. I know they're going to give us a new one, and it's
Yeah.
going to be good. But it's well, I hope it's going to be good.
I mean, so much of the character now is from him, you know. like,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Do you think he's going to come back in Secret Wars or something?
I really want him to.
Yeah,
Give
me
him that
too.
one send off because he, the whole point of Blade is that he ages like a human, so it really doesn't matter. Just include him.
I think that you know the point of Secret Wars is a goodbye to the pre-MCU stuff. So to not have Blades in it, to not have Wesley Snipes in it, would be a real shame. I think. You know.
Forgot to show you. These are really cool. You get these silver stakes, and these all come out.
Nice.
Really nice. Really nice.
So is there a Deacon Frost figure? That's what I would be interested in.
No, not yet. So yeah, quite pleased with him. I'll be unboxing him properly and all the rest of it and all that jazz. But yeah, nice one to get. MJ Comics, any figures I buy, in the box collector. I used to be, but not now.
You can't
can't
keep a
take-
1/6 in the box.
No,
That'd just be tragic. Like
but even my smaller scale figures. I mean, Sorrel, you're not an in-box collector, are you?
No, I hate boxes with a passion. I throw them against the wall. I literally have a video called Yeet where I've just smashed so many boxes to wind people up. I don't keep boxes at all.
Yeah, I mean, I keep mine. I've got mine. Sorry, for 1/6 scale, I do. For smaller scale figures, I bin all the boxes. I don't. Keep
But say
mine.
if I kept all the boxes, I've been doing it for what 6 years now, two toys a day. If I had that many boxes in my loft, it'd be kindling.
Yeah,
The house would go up in flames.
I keep
Absolutely.
every box. So like every figure I have in the box. So it's
Really?
it's so much. Yeah, my entire wardrobe is full to the brim. Like,
I mean, my garage is full of 1/6 scale boxes to the point now where I'm pinching
it's-
cupboard
look,
space and things.
stack here, like up to the ceiling nearly. Like, it's-
Simon, you leave your Star Wars figures in the box, don't you?
I do Star Wars, yeah. So not every figure, but like
Why is that? Is that just
well, the Star Wars, they you can put them on the side and they all join together as a nice,
it's like a very
modern
expensive
picture.
poster.
Yeah, very expensive poster, basically. But I just because I've got a nice shelf and stuff to put them on, I just
Yeah.
keep them in the box and yeah.
And Luke, you really do play with all your toys. You unbox everything, don't you?
I do, yeah. And if anything, my kids play with the boxes. Like they can't have the toys. But no, it's more so than anything else. I like to get it out of the box and make sure that everything's there because if there's a problem, especially with a new release, at least you can get it resolved and fixed. Even if you have to pay retail still, you can resolve the issue. Whereas if you're just going to keep it for months or years and then open it, if there's anything wrong with it, you're stuck with it. I'd much rather get it open, make sure everything's there, make sure it's all looking good, and then I like to pose them. I set them all up on display and have them in action poses. They are, after all, action figures.
Yeah,
They are, but I've got an argument with this. Like, if you didn't have inbox collectors, you wouldn't have all these ones that are like the old, like 90s, 80s figures that are stood in the box in the cases. There, would you? So,
well, Simon, there was a guy online who put it better than I could, which is keeping your action figures in the boxes is like not sleeping with your wife, so she's good for the next bloke.
oh, okay.
right. Yeah. Past Point Comics, good old Efren. Nice to see you, my friend.
Walked in
Says,
right on time.
open up those toys, figures, and play with them. Absolutely. Fuzzy, I'm selling all my figures. No, Fuzzy. All going, gotta be ruthless. Sell them, Fuzzy, and start a 1/6 scale collection.
Do you know what?
That blade is so cool.
I'm kind of there as well. Like I'm selling quite a few different lines now because I just don't have the room to put them. So all the lines that I've loved collecting over the years, now I'm having to be strict and go, right, I'm going to keep this, but get rid of this, keep this, get rid of this. So I think this year's going to see a lot go.
Yeah. Okay, in art. As you guys know, in art is kind of the top tier, or it was the top tier for 1/6 scale figures. Recent images of their Joker, their Joaquin Phoenix Joker, which is just mind blown. I've had a little look. See, I think there's 4 separate figures. So if you get the special deluxe edition, you get 4 individual figures out of this, which is just insane.
So it's
The
these
one
three,
that's
and then the dance.
the one that's
sequence
not
one,
shown
isn't it?
is it's the
The bathroom scene.
where he's in the kind of the Arthur Fleck outfit, but with the clown makeup on. But if you just look, I mean, that image of him in full Joker outfit there on the side there, that's just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, you're paying the price for it, mate. Don't get us wrong. This set, the 4 set, is going to cost you over
It'd have to
$1,000.
be fucking insane to buy
Yeah.
4 figures. 4.
I know. I mean, it's just.
Are you getting it, Peter?
No, I've got no interest in this one, to be honest with you. I really haven't. He's not. I loved the film. Don't get us wrong. I think it's a good movie. This isn't my Joker, but if you know what I mean. So.
Pair really well with that Pattinson, though. I think.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, bye.
Yeah.
No, no. This is not for me. I don't think. But I think there's no getting away from the technical mastery of the figures there. They are, first class. First class. I take it none of you guys would be picking these up.
No, this is not the first official one as well, isn't it? All the others have been third. It's like a dime a dozen third-party ones. Every company's done a third-party one.
Yeah, I
but
don't think Hot Toys isn't out yet. Hot Toys hasn't done a version of this. No. But yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I reckon we'll see an influx of these when the new film comes out. I think a lot of the companies were hesitant with the first movie because it were the first one that was like a R-rated movie or whatever in America. So it was like the first R-rated Batman in a long time. So a lot of companies were a bit hesitant maybe. And then I think this time around, because of how much it sold last time, we're going to see McFarlane pick it up, and everyone's going to have this Joker out by the end of next year.
Yeah, you're right. I think there'll just be a wave of figures hitting the market.
I'd be annoyed if I got it and then he has a purple suit in the next one. Like there's this purple suit at the end of it.
Oh, you know it's going to happen. You know it's going to happen.
Yeah, that's a great point, James. I didn't think of that. Yeah.
And I mean, a Lady Gaga, Harley Quinn, that's 2 reasons to put it out. And she's going to sell figures alone. So, yeah, they're going to put them out.
Yeah. A good movie, Fuzzy's saying, but not the masterpiece people proclaim it to be, in my opinion. I have to say I'm with you, Fuzzy. I enjoy the movie, but it's good, but it's not one of my favourites, I would say. But yeah, a cool looking figure. I quite like that. Simon, we're back to you. Some interesting figures here.
Hello. Yeah, I think these are re-releases. So this is Marvel Hasbro. We've got Wolverine and Psylocke. And then we've got Mr. Fix-It and Patch. So yeah, Wolverine Patch. So yeah, I think they've already been out before, but Hasbro's, all known for this, just re-releases and things like that. So yeah, but cool figures. So.
I quite like the Patch and Mr. Fix-It figure. The Mr. Fix-It's pretty cool. I like
Joe
him in
Fix-It, isn't it?
the suit. Well, yeah, it's Joe Fix-It, but he's Mr. Fix-It, yeah. I quite like him in the bow tie one. I think that looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did Joe Fix-It in the more mobster outfit as the Builder figure a few years ago, and then Patch was the head that we got a few years ago with the biker version of Wolverine. We've not had him like complete like that, and then the Wolverine with the Psylocke, we've had that Wolverine before, but on a different body. So it is the new pinless body, I believe, on that one. But yeah, that Psylocke is basically the only figure we've not had before in that wave, and these are the 50th anniversary wave, aren't they, for Wolverine?
Mm-hmm.
What's that version of Wolverine called again? I can't remember, because that's not just standard Wolverine costume, is it?
I have no idea.
I'm not sure.
It's on
what
the
it
tip of my
is.
tongue because it's often a costume in Marvel, like Wolverine games. Like, yeah, it's escaped me now.
I can't remember. And then we've got
Crystar.
what's that then?
It's a Marvel figure, so I don't know too much about the figure myself, but that was announced as well. So
Never heard of him.
I've never heard
No.
of him.
Crystar.
Mm.
You sure it's Marvel? It's Marvel
Yeah.
Legend?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Marvel Legend. Yeah, Crystar's Marvel Legend.
Never
He
heard
came
of
with the last wave of figures that was like the Justice League rip-off, if you will. It was like the, Power Woman, is she called? It was like Power Woman and all their, like, it was like Namor that looked like Aquaman from the 90s. It was like all them kind of figures, and Crystar was in that wave.
Not a character I'm familiar with at all. That one.
Me
That's an
neither. I
interesting
thought
one.
I'd put it up there. So
Yeah. No, it's a cool looking figure. To be fair, I quite like the design of it. Yeah, I'll have to do some research, some digging on that one because I'm not sure of that. Never heard of him. Fuzzy is saying comics and cocktails are the cheapest place to buy these. New Warriors. He's from the New Warriors, is he? Interesting, Fuzzy. Interesting. Okie dokie. Good stuff. Moving on. James.
Yeah, so some just random bits of news. Hogwarts Legacy was the best-selling game of last year, which is mad. So it's the first time in 15 years that either a Call of Duty or a Rockstar game haven't been the best-selling game of the year.
I can believe it. My wife hasn't stopped playing it since Christmas.
Insanity. Just shows the impact of the Harry Potter franchise. Like I don't know if a licensed game has, like, in the last 30 years ever been the best-selling game of the year. It's crazy.
Very cool. I mean, we've got this on the PC, but I can't say I played on it much. Thomas has, I think. Any of you guys played on it much?
Yeah.
You...
I've only been allowed to watch.
Yeah.
My
Should
wife's
we,
got it. She's been playing it and like non-stop, but she's not a gamer like I am. So like she'll call me in when it's one of the big boss villains because she's got no chance. She can't fight on it for love of money.
Yeah.
She runs around collecting things, and I have to do all the fighting.
Fair. Yeah. The exploring is the best part of the game, but the combat's awesome as well.
I just find
that's
myself
cool.
walking around the house saying the spells and not realizing that it's because I'm hearing it on the telly all the time.
Yeah. That's funny. So this is a sort of unsettling statement, I think, that a Ubisoft executive came out with. It says gamers need to get comfortable not owning their games for subscription services to take off. So I know, Luke, you're a big physical media guy. I'm curious what your take on that statement is.
Yeah, I mean, so as you know, I love physical media, but the truth is that they are right. That is where it's heading. That is what's eventually going to happen. We already have your PCs and everything being sold without disk drives, and soon it will be consoles as well. There'll be no cartridge ports, no nothing. It is going to happen. It is the future. I just like clinging to it while I still can. Hopefully I can still enjoy it for a few more years. But yeah, the comments like this is, even though they upset people, that is the end game. That's what these studios want.
See, I think because, like, for example, PlayStation Plus, like I've been getting 2 games a month for the last 5 years, so for dozens of games. If I stop subscribing to PS Plus, I lose them.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think
same with Game Pass.
Yeah, same with Game Pass. I think it does depend on, like, if it's like Netflix where, if they take it off, you just can't play it anymore, or if like, you got it at this time, so it's it's okay. I think there's a big difference there. Like the idea of it being like Netflix where, when a movie leaves Netflix, you can't watch that movie anymore, even if you've downloaded it. So, yeah, that's not good.
The one that I'm struggling with, and it might be a bit off topic, the one that I struggle with is when you go out intentionally to buy the game, but you're coming home with an empty box because it's just got a code inside. That really rubs me the wrong way because, like, the kids go, I want this, and I think, it's a physical game, yeah, sure, no worries, and then it's still a digital download.
Is that for Switch games, is it?
Yeah. So I've only been caught once by it, and it's fine. It's for the kids, like, it's what they want. But when you just feel like you've been conned because you're literally holding a cartridge and there's nothing in it.
Yeah, you only really get that with steelbooks and stuff, like the collector's editions for like PlayStation. Like but it is odd though.
I think whenever we've got game stores out there that are selling the games, individually, I think people want to own the game. Whereas if they took all that away, if we didn't have somewhere to go to pick up the game and you can only get them through a subscription service, that's different altogether. I don't think you'd feel as bad if they took a game off that way because you're paying a monthly for the subscription service. It's when you're paying $59.99 for a digital code for a game and then the publisher suddenly takes it offline. That then annoys you because you paid for a specific game. If you're paying for a service, it's a different story.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so that's a fair point. But like, for example, here in Ireland, like, we have Amazon and Smiths now. Like, we had GameStop until last year and it's gone. So I have 2 options for buying new games. That's it. So,
Yeah.
I don't like the statement though. It's
my biggest issue with it as well is from a monetary standpoint, because if you own the physical game or if you own the physical movie or CD, anything, you can still sell that on. You can recoup some of your money and therefore buy something that you do like or something that you want more. And yet when it's all digital like this, you buy it, you're spending the money, you're paying full whack in most cases, and then that's it. Like, if you decide you don't like it, or if you decide you're going to move on, you can't recoup any of your funds. You can't do anything else with it.
you know, that's a big reason why they want to get rid of them, isn't it? Like, I think, how many copies in CEX that they're not not selling because people go to CEX and get them secondhand, or GameStop or Game or whatever.
GameStop are doing that, aren't they? Did I read something like that Game are going to stop selling?
Oh yeah,
them?
they did, didn't they? Stop
Yeah,
taking
yeah.
games,
So
Do you think though it could also go like, say this was to happen and it goes the other way, it could go a bit like music where cassettes and records are coming back out?
I
Well, there already is. There's a company called Limited Runs. They do like NES. They'll republish NES games and stuff like that, or like PS. They'll do physical copies of digital games, like limited, like 200 of them, 300 of them, and stuff. So that is a thing. You know, there's a lot of physical collectors.
I think a lot of people use the record players as an example, and I'm saying this because I talk so much about it on my channel. But people use records as such a big example of things will make a comeback. But a record is very different to a CD. You know, regardless of what the CD might be, whether it's Blu-ray, 4K, etc., it doesn't matter. That's all to do with lasers and everything else, and that's the data stored on it. Whereas a record it's a physical analog thing. You know, it's little grooves and dents that a pin makes that sound. It's such a different thing. It's of a different time. And so when people make the reference of saying, like records, it will come back, I don't think it will, you know, because we won't have the players to be able to play them on. The TVs won't be compatible anymore. You know, that sort of stuff is going to change with the digital age.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
And
Next.
then just last bit of news. So one of the Capcom heads came out and said that they're making more Resident Evil remakes. So I'm just really excited. I'm playing 2 at the moment and I'm loving it. I'm gonna blast through 3 and 4. Curious if they're gonna, because 5 is the first HD one. Like, that one's on the PS3. It like still looks quite good. Like, you can't move and shoot. So I don't know if they're gonna even bother doing a remake of that one, or they might go back to 0 or do the original or something. So curious. Superstar, you strike me as a Resident Evil guy. You ever play it?
No, I'm not a Resident Evil guy. It's the one horror game I don't play.
Really? Yeah.
I can't get into it. It's the I've never been a fan of the movement and stuff, especially on the
Fixed
older
camera
versions
angles,
of the game.
I was only just saying on the horror show last week that I hate the fixed cameras and I can't get into them. So.
Yeah, the
Resident
more
Evil
modernized
1 and
games
2
were
was
okay.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 and 2 for me is, I'm the same as Luke. 1 and 2 for me are kind of golden.
Nothing prepares you for that corridor where that dog jumps through.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and play on them. MJ Comics was just saying, have our froze. No, mate, Simon's baffled us with that Crystal thing, so I've just had a quick Google to see what he's all about. It's 11-issue fantasy-based comic published in 1983. He made another appearance in Marvel Zombies issue 4 more recently, and it's a bit like the old usual Marvel style. It was to sell a toy line, flog a toy line.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I've never heard of him, but it sounds interesting. I like the design of him. But yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, wasn't it the tie-in with Danzig or something? Wasn't that there was like a tie-in with the band or the bloke Danzig?
It
It was something to do with that, like the symbol of Crystar or something was to do with the band's logo, something like that. It was like a really old, deep cut 1980s thing. But I can't believe it only had 11 issues and Hasbro made a figure of it. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Speaking of cool figures, Luke.
Yeah, so I actually saw this on Props and Replicas, and I added it to my cart right away. And then it said it was sold out, so I don't know if they were only getting one and I nabbed it, but it is available to purchase elsewhere. This is Orko the White and Gwildor. There's a lot. Have you noticed there's a lot of doors in Master of the Universe? Randor, Keldor, Grildor. I loved these two in the latest series. I thought their chemistry together, their little partnership together was great fun. No spoilers or anything moving forward, but yeah, I'm really all in on this toy line. You know, these Masterverse toys by Mattel, I think are really good value for money when it comes to proper kids' toys. I'm not talking about us collectors who go out and buy the NECA and the Super 7. These are proper toys that a kid can bash around and play with, and you know, they're still really nice for us collectors to enjoy at the same time. They are dirt cheap to pick up secondhand as well, which is always nice. And so far, I have the full collection, and I won't be getting rid of them anytime soon. I think they are superb.
Nice figures, and I mean, bit of a nod to the latest Masters series. If you're on the shelf because you didn't like the last season or you hate Kevin Smith or whatever, I would just encourage you to give it a go. It's only 5 episodes, half-hour per episode, something like that. It's well worth giving a go.
I really want it to do well. I really want it to get the views because we need a season 3. We need to push forward.
They've sort of opened it for a season 3, haven't they? So
Yeah, it's very cool. And I like these figures, Luke, and like you say, they are cheap as chips. I should have put a slide up, but I didn't think the Mondo Toys recently put out their Orko 1/6 scale figure, which is stunning. So I've bought that, obviously.
Every time I see,
I wish I could have got that. It's just being January. You just can't afford.
Every time I see a Masters Mondo thing go off, I'm like, that's another few £100 out of Pete's pocket there. So, yeah.
Can't help myself. Can't help myself. But yeah, the Orko is stunning. So I've got that one on the way. So yeah, very cool. Simon.
Me. Right, so SH Fig Arts. Obviously, these are a bit more expensive toys. They've just announced, I don't play this game. I don't know if you do, James. It's Tekken 8.
I haven't played any of the recent ones. The new one, 8 just came out like last week.
Yes, just came out. So they've announced these figures. This is Kazuma and Kazuha.
Yep.
So never played them, but look pretty cool tools.
Kazuma's like the lead character of the series. So
Right,
it makes
okay.
sense. I like the designs from 8, so I think it looks cool, and you know, I'm sure these will do very well.
And then a different one, they've done Rebel Moon. Yeah, so I don't know the character's name. I know the woman's called Nemesis in the back with the swords, but I can't remember this other woman's name from watching it. So still got to watch season the second part.
Is the second part out?
Not yet.
Okay. March, I think.
Yeah.
The thing in the back's the droid, isn't it? Anthony Hopkins'
is, yeah.
droid thing. Yeah.
The droid
I just
thing,
watched this the other night. It's not as, well, in my personal opinion, not as bad as I was expecting it to be. The dialogue is pretty ropey, but it's not bad. It's very much, I have to say, I made a mention of this, I suppose, on the show last night. It's like Uber Zack Snyder in terms of any time there's a bit of action, it just grinds to a halt and they do slow-mo for
The slow-mos, yeah.
Yeah, it was doing me nuts in by the end of it. Like, have you guys seen it?
No, I'm
Anybody seen
waiting
it?
for the director's cut because it's just going
It's about to come out. They'll have to be. You'll be
no, they've
waiting a
announced
while
already.
because there's the
It's gonna be an
campaign
R-
and stuff. The billboards are ordered.
No,
But,
it's
you know,
it's an R-rated, like an extra hour. Like it's,
Really?
it's done and dusted. It's happening. Like so, that's going to be the better version of it because I think this one's been trimmed down to shit. So I'll wait for that.
And then we've got at the bottom there Kong and good old Godzilla. Obviously not in his pink frills, thank God. I don't like the new pink version.
Yeah,
Godzilla.
I hate it. Awful. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'm. Now I've watched the Godzilla -1.
it's
I'm
amazing.
not, which is absolutely amazing. Anyone
Makes this
go
version
watch-
look like dog shit though, doesn't
Yeah,
it? Like really,
makes it
like
look.
it's just,
Yeah, really does. I mean, these figures do look good, and out of a lot, I've been wanting a Godzilla for a while. Obviously, I've pre-ordered -1, and we'll get onto one of my slides coming up. I probably will pick up these figures though. These look pretty cool. So
I ordered the what the shit have I even ordered? I lose. This is the problem. I lose track. There was a
You ordered the Super 7 one, didn't you?
That's
Yeah,
it.
minus-
Yeah, I
yeah,
ordered the
yeah.
Godzilla Super 7 one that was out recently.
yeah, and then
Was that the big one?
it is.
Can't
Yeah, it's
look
coming.
at it, though.
We've only put pre-orders down, so it's not out yet.
Can't
so-
remember.
yeah. Then this is the big anime that's everyone's going on about at the moment. I've been watching it. I've been enjoying it really. It's called Feren. So you've got Fern and Feren, and she's basically a sort of mage, an elf mage, and it's a really really cool anime. So yeah, obviously SH Figure Arts are known for their anime figures mainly. So
Fuzzy's not a Godzilla fan here. In his usual immortal words, cock off. Yeah, he's not keen on that. Sorrel, are you a Godzilla man?
I am. I've got all the SH Figure Out ones behind me on my shelf.
Nice.
I would get them down, but they're a lot. They're a lot
Yeah.
more awkward to get down because they fall apart quite easily. But I've got King Ghidorah and I've got most of the monster arts just up there on that shelf in the middle.
Very cool.
okay.
-1, the latest Godzilla movie's just been re-released in black and white, hasn't it? People are telling us that it's amazing. I might have to go and see that
In
again
black and white as
I
well.
think.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's coming out here in black and white. I would
Is it
check it
not?
out again. Sometimes it completely changes like how you view a movie. Like Mad Max came out in black and white and it was so good.
It's got different scenes in the black and white one, hasn't it? It's got they've done like alternate takes and things on it, so it's not just a remake of the.
that's
It's
cool,
not just
yeah,
a black
yeah.
and white scaled one. They've done like different scenes and different bits are in it. It's a different
definitely-
movie. It should be good.
Fuzzy will be booking his ticket to go and see that now, I bet, because I know he loves it. I was just going to mention this. This is the DeLorean from Back to the Future #3, which Hot Toys are putting out. 1/6 scale vehicle. I don't know how that friggin' works. It can't really be 1/6 scale, I wouldn't have thought. But it's a big size, no matter what. It's pretty sexy. It's pretty stunning. Paying big money for this. This is going to set you back a fair bit. I like the design of it and stuff. It's not a one that I'll be picking up because I don't think the Back to the Future 1/6 scale figures are particularly good. I don't like this. But I have got the Batman 89 Batmobile on order, which will be a similar kind of size. But yeah, this is pretty nice. I think this, if you're a model car collector or a die-cast car collector and things like that, this might tick a box for some people. But for me, for the price line, not one for me. Any of you guys collect things like this? Are you into your cars or anything like that?
I'd want a remote control car for that price.
Yeah. I'd want it to go back in time for the price it charges, to be honest. Yeah, nice, but not for me. But I thought I'd show it off because it does look pretty sexy. I put this up. This is something that Sorrel mentioned on his show last night, and this is the Hasbro Pulse fan stream, going to be out tomorrow. Is that 4 p.m. our time, I think, is it? Or?
4 p.m. our time, 10 a.m. ET, yeah.
And this is going to be the 40th anniversary of the Transformers special, and they're going to be announcing the new Transformers-based HasLab. And they've teased it a little bit, but we don't know what it is yet, I don't think. Sora, is there anything you wanted to mention on this?
No, it's going to be out tomorrow. It's the 40th anniversary, so they're going to be covering all sorts. To be fair, I'm not a massive Transformers collector. I just collect the crossover stuff to do. Yeah. I prefer those kind of things. So I'm the only guy in the chat tomorrow asking if they're going to be making another Universal Monsters version. I'm the only guy in the chat asking that tomorrow.
Yeah.
But,
do you have the Beast Wars ones or no?
I've literally got the Dracula and Frankenstein ones. I've got the Jurassic Park crossover and the DeLorean. It's the DeLorean. Yeah, it's the DeLorean, isn't it? It's the DeLorean crossover one. I got that one too. Yeah, I've got those.
I'd be
ones.
interested to see what the HasLab thing's going to be, but because I mean they've done the Unicron.
Yeah.
I don't know what else they've done from the Transformers.
They did
line.
that sort of a big figure, like dragon figure it was. So that in the HasLab.
Dragon figure. I'm not sure which
one.
It was.
I can't remember
what they did one. A Scorponok perhaps or something like that, or if I haven't done a massive Prime would be great. Is there any that you would fancy? Luke, I know you like your Transformers, but you're not as into them as me, perhaps. What would float your boat from HasLab?
Yeah, there isn't really anything, to be honest. Like you say, I do like Transformers, but it's more for that old cartoon series and the old comic books than it is for anything modern. And then when it comes to toys, I've only got my one Optimus Prime figure as representation of Transformers. I don't really know what they could make, because you'd want everything in the same scale. So even if they release like a massive Optimus Prime, it's like, well, okay, great, but then you want more to go with that. I honestly don't know what they would make.
I don't think what about Optimus Prime? So because you've got Robertson the one that transforms, and the Grimlock,
Metroplex, perhaps.
As it's the 40th anniversary, what if it was the death of Optimus Prime? Yeah, and like they had like the big bed piece and all the other characters around it, sold it as a box set.
That would be cool. Nice. Or a Galvatron, because if we've got Unicron, we haven't got a Galvatron or a Squid. I guess for me, all I really, really hope is this is the 40th anniversary of Transformers. So give us something from Generation 1. If it's anything to do with Michael Bay universe that can, in Fuzzy's words, that can cock off, I'm not interested in that. Do you know what I mean? If it's celebrating Transformers, it has to be Generation 1, surely. Or Transformers the movie related.
Have you guys noticed that it's a lot of 40th anniversaries? Like, we got Transformers, then we got Turtles, and I think Gremlins is also 40th anniversary. Like, everything's 40th.
Was a big year, wasn't it? Or 1984,
yeah.
Big year for pop culture.
Big year.
Yeah, Fuzzy's right. If it's not one of the main 3 or 4 characters, I think it may struggle. I agree, Fuzzy. I think if it's got to be something really easily recognisable. If they're going to badge it as 40th anniversary, it has to be something... it has to be something that people know and love, you know. Sorrel, were you about to say something, man?
Yeah, I did an interview on my channel the other day with Emily and Lenny from the Hasbro teams, and they said it's going to be something good, and they said something big. They didn't give me any other clue other than that it's big, so it's meant to be something substantial apparently. So it should be exciting.
Highland G, you're absolutely. I mean, one of my favourite transformers aside of Prime is Soundwave. That transforms into a usable tape player with the various theme tunes. God, that would be spectacular. Can you
amazing.
imagine?
That hits
Playing
my
actual
groove,
cassettes, that'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, Soundwave. I've got the 3.0 Soundwave, and it is phenomenal. But yeah, a Soundwave would be pretty spectacular. But I think you're right, Luke. In terms of scaling it, if it's going to be big, they've done Unicron. There's not much else that compares to the Unicron size of things. That wouldn't look silly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, like everything else made sense, right? Like the Galactus
Yeah.
and everything makes sense. For when it comes to Transformers, I really can't think what they would go with.
That would scale with the other ones.
Yeah.
Properly,
Could you do the Dinobots transform together, or you could do like Brutus? Bruticus was amazing.
Yeah, they could do a Constructicon because the Dinobots don't combine, but you could do a Constructicon or something like that, and that's a well-known, well-loved set of figures. I've got the originals, the green ones, you know, the worker trucks and the bulldozers and stuff like that, combined to create a Devastator, I think.
Yeah, Devastator. But you had the army ones, which were Bruticus, because I used to love that.
Bruticus, yeah,
Yeah.
they would be pretty cool. Aerial
Maybe it's a
bots,
one-to-one
Superior,
scale Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, I'd buy it. I'd definitely buy it. He just sits at you looking disprovenly.
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah. No, yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. James.
Yeah, this is a bit gutting. So we've had some layoffs. Interestingly, last year there was 10,000 layoffs in the gaming industry. This month there's been 5,600. So we're more than half in 1 month.
Wow.
Kind of crazy, but it doesn't bode well. So Microsoft has laid off almost 2,000 employees. Obsidian, I think, was hit quite big. So they do a lot of RPGs. They did like Knights of the Old Republic 2, Fallout New Vegas. They were working on another open world RPG thing. It's been cancelled now. A couple other companies that, yeah, it's tragic. Like, it's so gutting to see, like, especially these kind of like legacy studios that Microsoft has only just recently fucking bought, you know, to go and pull layoffs on them. So that's yeah, it's really unfortunate to see, but this one is very concerning now. So a few months ago there was the last Ronin Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game was announced.
Because we were all quite excited about that, weren't we?
Very excited. I couldn't wait. So there's only just a teaser trailer. It's the Destroy All Humans team, I think, that did the remake from a couple of years ago. Half of the team is gone. So this just got cancelled, I think, in the next year or so, possibly. Or it's
So
going to
when
be
they-
drastically pulled down the budget of it. Like, it's going to be shit when it comes out. I have no faith in it now. Sorry, Luke, you were saying?
Yeah, I was just going to say, so when they say that it's that many people being made redundant and being, you know, released and laid off, do we actually think that that's anything that's going to actually damage the properties? Or is it because, like you say, they just bought these other companies, they bought these other places. Now, when you absorb something, especially outside of like the gaming thing or Hollywood or anything else, when you absorb something, they're going to have their own legal teams, their own admin, their own everything else that your company already has. So you're gonna fire those people, right? You're gonna ditch that half of the company.
Normally,
The actual programmers, everyone else, that's what they've purchased. Therefore, they would keep
Well,
that,
it's
would
the
they not?
development teams.
Right.
So,
Okay.
like, legal would be separate from the gaming division, you know, like, so yeah, maybe quality assurance testers, but I think it is like,
I'm never sure. When we see these numbers, they sound really scary at first, but then when you actually burrow down into it and you realize, well, actually they acquired all these different companies.
No, I've did a bit of digging. Like, I follow a lot of game developers on like Twitter, and yeah, like fairly well known. You know, we're talking producers and concept artists and programmers, animators. You know,
Yeah,
so that's it.
Google
So,
does
like,
the same. So
that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game is a write-off. I think at this stage, like, you can't. It's gonna be a shitty graphics, buggy as fuck, 5 out of 10 game. I think now, if it even does get.
I'd be good at
finished
because
at
I'm
all.
looking forward to that one.
I was
thought
stoked.
that
Yeah,
was-
AAA Ninja Turtles game. We're well overdue for one. You know, so.
the thing is, if these big companies keep doing this, why would anyone want to work for a big company again?
It's a very good point, and a lot of people are highlighting. It was the head of Nintendo a few years ago said something along the lines of, if you just continually cut like let people go just for like short term earnings, it's going to demote people, and you're not going to make as good games because of that. You know, it's going to damage your products in the end. So like, he's absolutely
Shit.
right. You know.
Shit.
Yeah.
Because I was looking forward to that. Fuzzy's bang on. Peter buys a console and all games go to shit. Absolutely. Simon, last slide. What is
slide.
this?
So we were talking about obviously the black and white version. They released the black and white version, Super 7, and it literally sold out on pre-orders straight away. It looks amazing. So this is one we've pre-ordered. Obviously the coloured version. Peter, amazing figure, amazing. I can't wait to get it. Obviously black and white or coloured. Yeah, pretty cool figure. So.
I mean, I love that. I do love, and I'm looking forward to seeing the movie, but I'm not sure I would want a black and white figure, if I'm being honest.
I suppose if you put like a black and white like background on it, it would look quite cool, wouldn't it? Like if you
So
just
I think it would be one of two things, right? One would be, okay, it's a black and white figure. We like the black and white movies, much like NECA have done the black and white Universal monster figures. People still go out and buy them. The other option, of course, is if that previous coloured figure sold out and people still want a Godzilla, then this is a good second place. Or for the people that want to repaint them, it's still giving you the basis model.
Also,
you
he's
pick this one
he's
up, Sarah?
fairly monotone color wise, isn't he? So like it's it's a small change, isn't it?
Is this the one you've picked up, Sorrel?
Yeah, I've got a pre-order with props and replicas for this one.
Okay.
Look forward to it.
I'm a bit sad, like when these figures, like the original one anyway, went up. I hadn't seen the movie, and was never really a big Godzilla fan. After seeing the movie, I'm like, fuck, I should have got one in the first video. I'm really shame.
Yeah, very nice, very nice. I mean, this will be my only Godzilla. I had another one by, I can't remember who the company was, but it came in a massive box, and it was a nice figure, but I gave that away foolishly.
Probably the best like representation of Godzilla to have, I think. So.
Yeah, the one I had was from the Godzilla versus Kong, I think. So I'm happy to have this version when it comes. Simon, what the shit is this? What am I looking at here?
I follow on Instagram. This is quite a highly collectible toy store in London called Pop Mart, and they've just announced these figure series of like pop bands. So it reminds me of obviously
Scott Pilgrim. That's what I'm getting.
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim. But they don't just do that. They do all sorts of highly collectibles. So very weird toy collectible, But yeah, I thought I'd put this in because it's a different one no one's heard about, Pop Mart.
I've never heard of these, but I'm slightly confident that Sorrel's going to suddenly produce one now and show it.
I don't have any pot masks, but I can tell you that they just opened their robo shops in that big what's it called? The big shopping centre up north near you, Triple G.
Metro Centre?
Yeah, Metro Centre. They've got one in the Metro Centre, one in Meadow Hall, and there's a couple in London. And they've opened up the new Bandai Namco stores as well in all those locations alongside it. So there's like a big vending machine full of toys. And they're all Pop Mart ones, but they do a Universal Monsters collection where they're all sat eating popcorn in like little red like chairs,
Look how
like a cinema.
Peter looks.
I mean, that's literally 10 minutes down the road from me.
Yeah.
Is it still open? What time is it? I'm gonna.
But you need to go to the Gashapon machines from Bandai. You need to go check them out because I got a little King Kirby, a little Link Kirby from it.
Awesome.
Oh, wicked.
They had 5 nights at Freddy's machine because, of course, they did. Everything's got a 5 nights. But the best one was the Looney Tunes. No, not Looney Tunes. They did do Looney Tunes, and I've got them there.
Oh, I'd like
they did like little Harry Potter Looney Tune crossovers.
Man,
I spent like 20 odd quid, by the way, and I got like a little furry cat and a little weird little orange little fat thing. I had a whale of a time.
Did they have
Like
this?
you're describing me there.
The nearest
what-
store to
sorry.
me is
Sorry, Simon. So what did you say the store was called? Because I'll have to go and have a check.
Bandai Namco Gashapon, and then
Yeah,
Pop Mart.
that's a Gachapon, and that's Pop Mart. So Pop Mart, they've like made their own sort of stylized figures, and it's very highly collectibles. So
I shall be checking that out and no doubt filming. So yeah, I'll have a look at that. Interesting stuff. Simon, you've ended on a high there, Simon. Well done. Good one.
I think
Good
that
one.
deserves a clap here.
Well done, Simon. It's a good one. Right, guys, that is the end of our show. Thank you so much to everybody that's tuned in tonight. Few things to just quickly go through before we end. As I usually say, any money raised on this channel, whether it's through ad revenue and whatnot, goes towards mental health charities. We're very close to the 60 quid mark now from starting just before Christmas. So as soon as we hit that level, we'll do a bit of a poll and see which mental health charity we're going to give some cash to. And that'll all be live and very clear for everybody to see. So we'll be doing that soon. A couple of videos on my channel to have a look at. I've got a 1/6 scale Mondo Hordak figure review out. That's a really cool figure. I like that one a lot. Very, very strong figure. Other video there I've got is my little look at the Secret Artist from the Marvel Secret Wars run, which is quite interesting, so please do check that out. Today I've released mine and James's first episode of I Can View This All Day, which is a review of Captain America 1990. Look at that look. Look at those plastic ears. How the hell did they not think anyone was going to pick up on that shit, honestly? Interesting movie. Any of you guys seen that movie?
It's not an interesting
Oh,
movie.
yes.
It's not.
It's not.
Fucking abysmal.
Sorrel, you would love it, mate. You should go and check. It's free on YouTube.
Don't
You'll
waste
love
your
it.
time.
You'll love it. So please do check that out. This is going to be probably a fortnightly review show. We've got a whole host of different movies lined up. Next one is going to be the Dolph Lundgren Punisher movie. So looking forward to doing that one as well. So please keep an eye out for that. James, what we got coming up on One Good Scare?
Yeah, we had our live show on Friday, so we talked a bit about horror games that we like, and the Until Dawn movie was announced. There's some Scream 7 news, of course, all that jazz. And then this Friday coming, we have I'll Be Right Back on Valentine 2001. So we just recorded that before coming on here, and yeah, it was a fun conversation. So.
It's an interesting one. Me and James, I mean, you'll see on the show, but me and James disagree on the artistic acting ability of one character. I'm just interested in people's thoughts. What's she called again, James?
Denise Richards.
Denise Richards.
Yeah, she's not a character, she's an actress.
I mean, you think she's, Oscar worthy, but
No, I just said I thought she was a highlight of the movie, and you strongly disagreed.
yeah.
She's the highlight of the movie when she gets in the hot tub. That's
No.
the
I think she's a fun character in the movie.
I think she's all right in Starship Troopers as well.
Oh, she walks funny. Anyway, next Monday, just to mention, we've got our art show. Really looking forward to this one. This is where we are going to be looking at amalgamation of characters. So it's going to be a bit of a different one. James and Efren will each have separate lists of characters that they come up with themselves and they don't talk about to each other, and then we'll have to just kind of smudge them together and make a character. So really looking forward to that one. That should be good fun. Super Sorrel, what's coming up over on your channel?
What have we got coming up this week? Finally going to get around to opening the stupid Scorpion King because it looks atrocious and I can't wait to open it and trash it by Mattel. And then, oh yeah, these are good. I got these last week, and I need to show these off. So I've got the new Street Fighters by aToys.
I might pick them up. They look good.
And I did get another figure, but I just can't see him. So
See, I don't do wrestling, but even I get that reference.
I got one too. Yeah, come on here. It's good.
Very cool. And then obviously, Sorrel, you've got your Sunday night show.
yeah, me and Jacob's Toys is a Instagrammer and YouTuber toy guy in his own right, and we go live every Sunday night at 9:30 p.m. on both YouTube channels and talk toys and geek stuff for about 2 hours.
Good stuff. And please don't forget to go and check out the Kickstart over on Kickstart tonight, please, because that's really cool stuff. Luke, what's happening on Hydra Collectibles?
Yeah, so my video this week is all about the dreaded thing that every physical media collector fears, which is disc rot. And if you don't know what that is, that's the point of the video. So please do go and check that out. And then, yeah, coming up probably later this week, if not early next week, I'm going to talk about my Steelbook package letdown. I have bought a collection of Steelbooks and was quite disappointed, to say the least. So we're going to explore Steelbooks and whether or not they're worth the additional money.
Have you picked up the Masters of the Universe Steelbook, Luke? Because I noticed that was out. I don't know if it's been out for a while, but it comes with all kinds of interesting bits with it.
Yeah, so I haven't. Steelbooks are an odd one for me. Like, I want all the additional bits and pieces, but I'm not that bothered about the actual case. Not that bothered about the Steelbook itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want all the extras.
Good stuff. Simon, what's happening over on Comic Lads Simon's channel? And have you got any more sales coming up?
Yes, I do, but just planning a date to book it in, and yeah, I will announce it on my Instagram. So.
Good stuff. Anything happening on your channel?
Not on my channel, no. So.
Okay. Good stuff. Well, thank you very much, ladies and gents. Really, really nice having you all here. Sorrel, thank you very much for popping on again. It's always fun to have you on the show, so thank you for that. And thank you very much to everybody that has been in the chat. It's been great fun tonight. And with that, we'll call it a night, and we'll catch you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.